Here we go. Here we go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Carving Up Live. What does matter to me, and matters to the entire NFL world, is the fact that those Dallas Cowboys,
how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
absolutely, positively, and unequivocally blew the doors off of those Philadelphia Eagles by a final score of 33-13. Now, Dallas putting up 33 is not shocking to me. I actually picked them to score 34 points, so sue me. I was a point off. So Dallas scoring 34, Dak looking the way Dak looked. The running game was a little bit surprising to me. I'll get into some of that stuff a little later. Dallas's offense showing up was not in the slightest bit of a surprise to me, because if you look at Philadelphia's numbers defensively, I have been beating this table for months. I remember, y'all, since week one, when Philadelphia barely escaped the New England Patriots. But Mac Jones, everybody's like, oh, look at Mac Jones going up and down the field in the Patriots. I'm like, I'm more not impressed by the Patriots than impressed with the guy who is now the backup on a 3-win team. So, Philadelphia's defensive numbers, let's just say they're not great. 28th in opponent points per game, 30th in opponent red zone touchdown percentage, dead last in the NFL in opponent third down percentage, 28th in opponent pass yards per game, 31st in opponent touchdown to interception ratio, and 29th in opponent passer rating. So simply put, what those numbers say is that the Philadelphia Eagles defense isn't very good. They've tried to bring in reinforcements. And again, I give Howie Roseman, a GM who I have immense respect for, one of the best in the business. I give Howie Roseman a lot of credit for the fact that he's tried to address it. He went out and got Kevin Byner from the Titans. He went out and got Shaq Leonard, who was almost a Cowboy. Then he wasn't a Cowboy. Now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. He's at least tried to patch some of these holes. To his credit, it hadn't worked. I don't know if it's the loss of Jonathan Gannon, who's now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Don't know what it is. But he has not patched, the Philadelphia Eagles have not patched those holes adequately. So Dak doing what he did. The Cowboys, more on Dak later. The Cowboys doing what they did offensively, not in the slightest bit surprise to me. It's defensively, to me, that was the takeaway. It's the fact that a Philadelphia Eagles offense that was top 6 in the NFL in scoring offense. It's a Jalen Hurts that outside of that game against the 49ers, second halves, man, Jalen was balling. A.J. Brown, off the charts. Devontae Smith was having a hot streak. DeAndre Swift was running effectively. This Eagles offensive line, I thought they were actually at points in that loss to San Francisco, kind of a bright spot. Played pretty well. Last night in Dallas, they looked disjointed, discombobulated, unorganized, and out-physicaled. And that, my friends, has not been Philadelphia's brand, at least in the Nick Sirianni / Jalen Hurts era. What have we known the Eagles for? Yes, they can hit you with the big play down the field, Hurts to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, who, put in your wide receiver, but they're a power run team. The Philly brotherly shove. Okay, Jalen Hurts, big physical quarterback, squat 600. Jason Kelce going in the Hall of Fame. Lane Johnson going in the Hall of Fame. DeAndre Swift, power back. They got out physical offensively and defensively. Defensively, again, not shocked. Offensively, they just got pushed around. I mean, Micah Parsons out here playing with flu-like symptoms. Thought Micah played very well last night. Osa Odigizua, my guy. I've always been an Odigizua guy. Played very well last night against that great interior Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. And how about Stephon Gilmore? Stephon Gilmore, who 12th year in the NFL. A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown, and like a lot of great receivers, A.J. Brown talks his junk. It is what it is. That's how guys are wired. Maybe it gets them juiced up, whatever. But he talked to the wrong guy. He was talking, he used one word. He walked by Stephon Gilmore reportedly pregame and used one word, old. And that, my friends, fired up a guy who just 4 years ago was the defensive player of the year with the New England Patriots. That, of course, is bump and run Gilmore. How about A.J. Brown's stat line yesterday? Yes, 9 catches for 94 yards, but if you look at the stat line, he had a fumble. Devontae Smith, he also had a fumble. And Jalen Hurts, he had a fumble too. So for Philadelphia, couldn't take care of the ball. And it wasn't a situation where kind of an unforced error, defensive player kind of made a play. No. You had linebackers for Dallas. You had Stephon Gilmore, straight up Charles Peanut Tillman punching that football out of their hands. Dallas out-physicaled them. And again, that was a little bit of a concern for me for the Cowboys is last week, the last game at least, against Seattle. And we saw Seattle struggled at times yesterday against the Niners, which then again, who doesn't? More in San Francisco later. But Geno Smith, DK Metcalf just abused the secondary. Now, Dallas did shut Seattle out in the fourth quarter, got some big fourth down stops to their credit, but by and large, kind of got torched. And if we're being completely honest and completely objective, they got torched by Geno and the Seahawks. So I'm like, okay, they have 10 days off, but this is a Philly team that could beat you over the top. This is a Philly team that could beat you in the run game. No bueno. No offensive touchdowns. Only touchdown came on a Dak Prescott fumble, which Jalen Carter took to the house. That's it. So defensively, highly impressed by the Dallas Cowboys. Offense, I'm not shocked. Folks, in the last, I think I saw the stat, make sure I'm getting this right. The Dallas Cowboys offense in the last 5 weeks have averaged 40 points a game. So they are virtually unstoppable. Okay, Dak is on a roll. CeeDee Lamb's on a roll. This tight end, Jake Ferguson. Okay, I was kind of down on the kid to start the season. I'm like, is he, you want this guy to be your starting tight end if you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl, which, for the record, I picked Dallas to get to the Super Bowl to win the NFC. I was wrong on this kid. He looks pretty good. Athletic, got an attitude to him, which you love. Gets open. Obviously, he's hurdling guys. He had a hurdle against the Giants last year on Thanksgiving, so we knew he had that in his bag. Good hands, made some big third down catches. Dak may have another weapon that I wasn't aware of. So it may be CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. How about this too for Dallas? This shocked me, is the fact that the Cowboys against this is where I go to talking about get the Dallas out-physicaling the Philadelphia Eagles. How about Dallas running the ball 32 times for $138? They won a game. Matter of fact, they had a great offensive game on what was a very good game by Dak, but nowhere close to where he was last week against Seattle or the game before against Washington or a couple games before that against the Giants or even the last game when they played the Eagles when Dak was phenomenal. Dak was very good. You guys know I'm a Dak guy. Dak was very good. I give him a B+, A- grade. I'll be nice to him. I'll give him an A-. So in a game in which Dak was very good, they beat a 10-win team by 20 and controlled from start to finish. Dallas scored opening possession, never looked back. Wire-to-wire win. Now, how about Brandon Aubrey, too? Let's give Brandon Aubrey some love, okay? Out here, freaking banging 60-yarders. Okay, he had a 60-yarder, 59-yarder. I think he had a 55-yarder. I mean, kid is unbelievable. He's automatic. Might as well be Justin Tucker. I know my man Devin's in the comments. He's probably not going to like that too much, but he's unbelievable. This Brandon Aubrey kid, Mike McCarthy, showing the faith in him early in the game, which was a big-time momentum swing, I thought. So for the Dallas Cowboys, they've entered that echelon where, to me, and I'm not, for the record, I'm not saying Philadelphia's out of title contention. I will not go that far. I think this team's too talented and too well coached. It's Dallas and San Francisco at the top of not only NFC, but all of football. It's going to be those two going at it. It feels like it feels kind of inevitable. Those two are going to match up in the playoffs. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.